What's up, everybody? So I wanted to do a video on how I do my laces on my gloves because it's amazing. I'll show you some that I did that are right here. Okay, this is how I do. I do have my lace to loop. That's a RDX. This is my favorite one now. This is now my favorite one. But this is how I do it. Okay, I know it looks kind of crazy, but it's not. And it's my favorite way to do this because it actually keeps the glove very open when you're sliding your hand in. Okay, look how open. Like I could just slide my hand in very easily. And then very easily I can pull down and then pull up. And look how tight that is, dude. Now I can go around my wrist area, which is where I like to lock it in. And there you go. You're ready. And you are tied up tight. And I did that myself in seconds. And this is how I did it. I tied these a certain way. You can see how I did it just by looking at it right here. So I used the same lace that came with the glove. Okay, and I tied it off here. I don't know if you can see that. It's pretty dark. But I tied it off and taped it because the little lace was rubbing on my arm. So I don't tape all of them because they don't really rub all the time. This one just a rough lace. But what I do is I tie it off. Okay, I tie it off here, go underneath, out here, underneath, out here, and then go across. Then I just make the same kind of tie off. It's tied off on this side as well. And I run big loops, three big loops down the side that I tied off that's tight. So I could just grab the middle one here, the middle, and just pull these three tight. So sorry if it's kind of hard to see it. So you just grab the middle, pull it up. That makes these very tight. Okay, and then you just pull it on the other side. There you go. And now you're able to, first of all, when you have it in your hand, pull down, which is going to take this top part and force it downward. And then when you pull up, it anchors the bottom piece and closes it tight around your hand. So basically, as tight as you can possibly pull this thing, it will be tight. And then you can wrap that very tight around your wrist. And that will give you really good stability. And it is my new favorite way. I somewhat got this from Carlo. Shout out Carlo from C Squared. But he uses 3 pairs of laces, and I just used 1 lace. So I'm going to show you how I do it. So the first step I do, obviously, is when you're doing whatever glove you're doing, the opposite side of the thumb is where you're going to have the tight part that's going to be set, where you're going to run your loops on this underneath this part. Okay, the part with the thumb is where the loops are going to be. Okay, because you're going to pull down with the loops, and that's going to pull your thumb side down, and then you're going to pull the anchor back up, which is going to pull up the opposite side from the thumb. So here we are. You're going to go underneath on the inside here on both sides, right? And since we're anchoring, this is going to be our anchor side. This is the side we're going to tie off. So just go down. Ooh, excuse me. And then we're going to go inside, then outside, then inside, then outside, and when we do this part, we're going to tie this off. So we're going to skip one. We're going to skip the one because usually it comes with 7 holes. We're going to skip that, and then we're going to tie it off here. So we're just going to tie that off right there. So I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so I went ahead and tied that off, and that's what it looks like. Okay, all I did was tie this in a knot. All I did was tie it in a knot. But there you go. Now you got your anchors. Okay, this isn't that hard, and it's pretty quick. So now what we're gonna do, and what's important about this is that your little lace right here, this little end of the lace, is on the inside of your glove. That way, when you're sparring, it's not on the outside, can't cut anybody. So this is nice and clean. Okay. The worst thing that's gonna happen is maybe that this little lace and loop Velcro might somehow. Here, I have one right here. I know it's not the silver one that I'm gonna use, but the worst thing is that you can just get caught on this, but this is actually very smooth and very nice. It's like it's made perfectly, actually. Okay, so now we got our anchor side done. We're gonna do our loop side. So we're just gonna do the same thing, except we're gonna leave them, instead of tightening them up like that, we're gonna leave long loops equally amongst these three. So we did 3 sections here, 1, 2, and 3. We're gonna do 3 sections here. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so we're gonna go inside. Same deal, just 3 loops, on the thumb side. Okay, so that's inside. Leave a loop. Then we'll go outside. Pull that tight, and then we'll go inside. Leave a loop. And then we'll tie it off at the end. So this is the way I does it. So leave a loop there. So now we got 2 loops, but we'll just pull them, kind of make them equally loopy. And then I'll show you how we finish this off. So we're gonna go inside here. And obviously we're gonna have some loops or whatever. We'll wait. Yeah, so this is going to be our 3rd loop, but instead of going on the very last hole here, we're going to go on this hole. And why am I going in that hole again? I forgot. It's because I'm going to come out here. I'll show you. It's hard to explain it, but let me see. So remember, I go in here. Actually, I think I'm wrong. Yeah, in, out, in, out. That's where I messed up. Okay. Instead of going, my bad. Sorry. I'm trying not to confuse everyone, and I confused myself. Okay. So you can see that all these loops are coming out, right? So instead of this one going on the outside here, we're going to actually come from the other way. So we are going to, on the last hole, we're going to come out. Going to come out from the inside out on the last hole, but we're going to go back in on the middle hole, and then we're going to tie this off. And the reason I do this is the same reason that I have this on the inside. It's so that I'm going to tie this off. That's going to be the end of my loop, and I want this piece on the inside of my glove so it doesn't cut anybody while you're sparring. So real quick, you're just going to tie this off. Okay, try to give it as much slack in the loop as possible. So as small as you can get this thing, as small as you can get this little tie off, that'd be for the best. So I'm going to tie it as small as we can possibly tie it. Okay, we got it right there, and then we just gotta do one more, which is pretty much me manipulating one side of the loop and sending it through. Okay, and there we go. All right, so now you can see I have tied it, and the little loop, this little sharp piece is going inside. So there we go. and it should look like this, because you came from the outside in, and all we're really doing is securing it here. All we're really doing is creating that loop, but it's here. See? Okay. So now that we have these loops and our anchors, we're just going to put the loops through the anchors. Try to make them equal, actually, first. I try to make them equal, and so that when I pull them, I pull them like this to the center of my wrist, because what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to put that anchor here in between this. See that piece where the wrist can come up? I want to eliminate that. So when I pull these loops through, I'm going to make them equal to where that basically does not happen. And I have them equal across, so that when I pull it, it's the actual anchoring point is going to be equal to the center of the glove here, right here where this pivot point is. And that's, like I said, so that when I wrap it around, it eliminates that. So here we go. Now we're going to put these through the anchors. Okay, so we got these loops. We're going to send the loops through the anchors. So you could even pull these, you can even because of the center, you can pull that down, and then you can create some slack on this side. So we'll create some slack for the last one. Last one actually cannot create any slack, but there'll be naturally some slack. So there you go. That's one through the loop. This one going to go through the loop. Through the loop, and the third one through the loop. And you only got to do this once. That's it. Bam. So there you go. Now you got them. All three of them are through the loops. Now we're going to send these three through my Velcro strap here. So let's see. Let me get them equal first. So now I'm going to pull this tight. My anchor's tight. There. So all I did was pull up on this. See where this is coming down? I just pulled it to tighten this, my anchors. And now I can pull that over here and create my equal loops. So just kind of get this where you want it, because my forearm's a little bigger, so I have to kind of put less here, more here, you know what I mean? So that when I pull this, it's equal. It's pulling it tight, but not too tight on one area. If I pull it super tight on the forearm, it's going to cut off my circulation. So I got to kind of have it less tight there, less tight on this one, a little more tight on this one. Okay, so just kind of mess around with it until you like it. There we go. I think that's good. That there's good for me. So there you go. Okay, so now what we're going to do is set it up now for the lace and loop. So here we go. Now for the lace and loop, you're going to pull down first and then up. So remember that when you pull, you're going to pull down and then up. So the Velcro side is going to be going on your thumb side. It's going to wrap around. It's going to end up here. So you want the lace to loop to be like reading towards you, because this is the easiest way to put your gloves on. It's the easiest way. So there you go. That's how you're going to have it, because this is how we're going to do it. So now what you're going to do is take your loops. You're going to send them through this little hole. Okay? So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to take these little loops and send them through the hole. This isn't really the easiest part of this. This is probably the hardest part of it, honestly. Just send these loops in, but it's still not that hard. With the RDX, it has a bigger ring. With the Infinitude's a little bit harder, and the lace end loops, the originals, those ones, it's a little bit harder as well. But with the RDX model, I like them. They're thicker, they feel a little stronger, and they have a bigger hole. See, like I already got them all three through. Okay, so now I got all three of these through. Now I just got to tie it off in here. So I'm going to take all 3 of these, and that's how it is. That's how it's going to look, just like that. And I'm going to just tie these off right here like that. You see how that is? I'm just going to make a little knot right here. So I'm going to take all 3 of these like this, pretend like it's just one, and make a knot. And try to leave as much like slack, like you don't want this hanging off more. You kind of want this kept to a minimum, and then pull so that you have more slack to make it helps to loosen it more, to keep it looser, but also to wrap around your wrist tighter or more, I guess. And there you go. That's it. Now you're all done. So see, you can see the benefit of this is look how wide I can open it. I can slide my hand with wraps or whatever. Then you just pull down on your loops to tighten up the top part, and then up on the hinges, down and then up. There you go. Now wrap it around right there on that wrist point. And where it ends, it ends. You know what I mean? This is where you want it. Bam. There. Now there you go. You don't have anything here to cut anybody on this side. I mean, a lot of people end up with this side on the other side. You can't bend your wrist back. This eliminated that pivot point. So there you go. Try to bend your wrist back. You can't do it. So that's as tight as it can get here for me. You can see it's even yanking on the anchor. And it looks like it's tied. It actually kind of looks tied. So pretty cool. I mean, I somewhat stole this idea from Carlo, but I made it my own with the one lace so that you don't have a big bump. Like you kind of have a little manageable bump. This is my laces that I tied. See? So that's the bump of the laces that we tied onto the lace thing. The lace, this one's called lace 2 loop. And then you have your infinitudes. These are a little bit smaller. Can be done. They're manageable. You can do it. But the best way to do it is with these infinitude ones. And then these are the silver. You can get them in silver. These are red ones. I think they come in blue, white. These are my white. My white ones are on the hammers. There you go. See, those are white. These are silver. So you can see the difference there. And the best, I mean, the great part is, yes, it's very tight. This is a very tight fit. Now, you take it off. Oh, man. You take it out, and look at that. It just goes wide. Within a second, it's wide. It's ready to pull. You can pull your whole hand out of there because, you know, you can pretty much open this up as wide as you want. And then in a second, pull down, pull up. There, it's tight again. So that's, to me, that's the best way to do it. Very similar to Carlo's way. A little bit different, Carlito's way. A little bit different because Carlo actually just kind of puts his through. He doesn't anchor them back up. He kind of puts his through, and he doesn't use the anchor system that I use here. But yeah, so now I just gotta unlace these and do these, and then I'll have my laces done the way I like them. And they're really awesome. They're very supportive and quick, fast, in a hurry. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. It didn't take too long to get it done. So enjoy that, guys, and try it on your gloves and let me know in the comments what you think. See you guys next time.